quite bold. It's a very lightly armoured lineup from Utopia.
No, this is actually really strong lineup for attack because the only questionable thing might be Lorraine, but this is exactly the same lineup they use against Swift, up to a tank.
Okay, and Gunrunners going with the IS-7 and the Kranwagen. Looks like potentially some real play expected from those team, from that lineup.
As you remember, I told you, they will try to establish a crossfire with those guerrillas, so some of them can punish Kranwagen when he's peeking to decap. Now, will Gunrunners actually play to their hand, or they will just try to cross rail and play the village maybe and provoke a brawl to take out Artie out of equation? We'll see.
Yep, let's find out. We can jump into round 2 here. The teams are ready to go. Utopia red side attacking, Gunrunners blue side defending. Now, are Gunrunners going to make it 3-1 or Utopia going to bring it back to 2-2?
And there we go, Gunrunners are going for the dead side and they will try to do immediate pressure and not allow them to just control hill and shoot them down easily. We saw already when you lose an arty in this map early, like Swift did in previous game, it's gonna be a big problem. Now Papa Pavian is not atmospheric, so I don't think he will be easily shot, but we need to see how will the rest of the guys fare here. Utopia.
Dynamo, what are you doing?
No, it's a good cross,
okay,
it's a good cross,
yeah.
but I was afraid he was actually stuck.
Yeah, that's what I thought for a second. I was like, when he went over the tracks, I was like, oh mate, if you can get all the way down and safe, then that's impressive. But it's quite interesting how it's an almost complete mirror matchup of what we had in the previous round, where the teams immediately went east, and in the last round the teams were immediately going west.
And you can see as soon as they saw that Gunrunners are coming this way, they are all running away because they know they are quite inferior from this side. And they'll get shot. The only problem is Colesoid.
I was exactly just going to ask that. He can't get out of that position now, can he?
Well, they will probably try to trade in 1-for-1. And then it will be okay.
I wouldn't want to be him in that situation. Because you want to run to the rails, you want to run to the safety of the rails, and you know you're going to get shot in the back
I
when you do
wouldn't like to be the first guy who tries to find him also.
He's going for it. He's going for the run for the rails. Enrico's spotted and spots him. Missed shot from Vihu is starting off with. Enrico getting a shot from someone else there.
And he's
Colesoid gets over, only taking one shot.
He's safe, but Enrico is wrecked.
Nice exchange, and good that they got the tank safe over.
Old dog sniper Vihu, man.
Missed that first one. If he'd got that first one, Enrico would be dead.
Do you know how hard are those shots? Shoot through on that distance? Through the bushes? It's good that he even connected those two. He could have easily missed everything.
Yep. Enrico still surviving. No, he's on a one shot, but he can still do his job if he gets a good peek. He just has to be careful not to get himself spotted when he does so. Now, Utopia rotating up now to the west side or the left side of the map. Gunrunners setting out their defence here on the rail track, and it's going to be quite hard to break that down.
Look, Utopia took some lessons from Ding in the last season because this is pretty much strong overall setup. These two guerrillas are really good snipers, of course, and they can do some damage to trenched up tanks, but they also have an artillery. So saying that someone is hard to break when you have a lineup like this, no. Like Kranwagen cannot really camp against an arty. Over time he will wreck him. You also have two guerrillas spamming heat shells or even HE if needed. So any kind of cooldown against the capping tank will be a problem. And they still have also their own cooldown tank Kranwagen. And honestly, Gunrunners don't have anything to answer on that Kranwagen if he's played well one-on-one. Who will pen him? You need to flank him. And they're really keeping the map tight. So Dynamo is probably the guy who will trigger the cap.
As he starts driving towards it, some blind fire going out to the buildings in the middle to clear them away. Enrico and Danny here on the south of the map. Colesoids there giving additional cover to Papa Powan on the artillery. We could be screaming his name soon enough if he starts landing shots. And it's really, it's like going up against when diplomats and artillery. You just don't want to face it, do you? Insane as well when he's in artillery.
Well, the only good thing is this is a huge map and with Lorraine arty shots can go anywhere, so you can really miss easily on this distance because he's shooting him from K line to A line. It takes 6 and 7 seconds for a shell to go there, and he can really go on the edges of reticle, wherever.
Cap started by FC Dynamo.
Like, he really needs some target like Anji to be fairly accurate, he will hit it.
Will and Danny taking shots there. Will actually losing his gunner in IS-7. That's not going to be good for long-range shots. Already doesn't have great accuracy at long range.
Anji is still hiding there in a bush. Out of the proxy range, you can see how he is trying not to get accidentally spotted by anyone. Because at one moment, if the cap comes too high, he will have to go in that Kranwagen and use his, how did Ducky say, Master Ace -12?
Yeah, the gun depression and the armor.
And his gun depression, so he can decap and pull back. So they would not have to suicide anyone. Now, I would say that team like Utopia should know that by now. And there is a big rotation coming from the lower side of the map.
Utopia looking to sweep around the south side of the map, but we have Rules down there as well, giving additional covering fire to Colozoid. Now, who they're going to connect onto once they start coming over, there is 3 Batchats waiting to make a move and focus someone down. Maraka is spotted, but he's in the middle of the map.
He's in that, let's say, rice bowl.
Gunrunners with the gun line, laying into Maraka there. Shot coming back off of Rules, it looked like, and a ricochet off of the Batchat. Someone got very lucky there.
A lot of damage there on Mrakar. And Dynamo got easily decapped by Anji there, who came from the Fade. So far, Gunrunners playing a good plan, but Will is getting handed. He's getting spammed by HE shells, I think, from one of the Grillas. And that's why he's losing modules so easy. So look at this. He has no medic,
no loader.
But he has no loader, no gunner. I mean...
It's like so bad.
Honestly.
It's a horrible combo.
I would say if you lose a driver or commander is much worse than loader in this case.
But losing your loader and your gunner at the same time.
Yeah, but they're not stacking each other. It's like a reload and accuracy. But if you lose commander, you don't know if you are spotted. If you lose a driver, when you're going up for a spot, you cannot go easily down. You are slower to maneuver. So fairly, yeah, I would rather lose one of those than what I said in this situation.
Utopia need to be a bit careful they don't run out of time to be able to do anything. We're down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Because don't forget, they have a commander alive and jack of all trades. And he can like compensate for a bit of this.
For both of them, so his loading is not as bad. Unji could get wrecked in just a second from Papa Pavin.
See? Come on, Arta. Let's
Shot.
see, can you click?
Oh! 736.
It's not all him. I think it's stacked up with the shot he received.
Downtown from Papa Pavin. Maraka moving over in the middle here.
Yeah, this is what they needed a while ago before he got shot. But Anji is now in a deep trouble because look at the mass of the red tanks coming around him. I think he will last very shortly.
420, no fire on Unji there, as well as saying here, Maraka just realises if he peeks over to shoot, he has the risk of being shot by the IS-7. Unji's taking a lot of damage. Buhu rolls over to kill him, and they're going to turn and focus onto Will now as well in the IS-7 as he drops in quick succession. Really strong push there from Utopia, and the tanks of Gunners are starting to fall. Damage is dropping. Martin also taking hits, and this is looking nice for Utopia.
Up to a moment where Gunrunners just after like doing a clip on Mrakar, it was okay for them. It was well-planned defense and everything. But after that, they kept playing stale, and they left those two heavies at mercy of Utopia without any real defense. And they were split up as much as Utopia was in previous games game on Prokhorovka, and that's why Gunrunners are now in a deep problem.
Oh, Enrico, if only you knew how close you were to Rules. Rules is going to get himself spotted when he turns. Turned his chassis there, which gets him spotted by Enrico. Shots coming in return though. Storm is getting focused down in his Batchat. Left on 225 health. Utopia still with all 7 tanks available to him as Bihu gets the kill onto Martin. Rules still doesn't know that Arhu's right. He knows he's always going to turn and see him now. Goodbye, Enrico. A comfortable win here for Utopia, Mojo.
It just looked like something you know, scratch off your foot.
3-man cap, no resets coming in. Utopia finishing that with almost 6k